So we're just going to give it 1 more minute and then we're going to start the webinar. So we're going to talk tonight about how you can source smarter to scale faster. So it's a bit of a mouthful, and we're going to show you how you can do that with our very own tool, FBA Deal Source. And you'll see that this will help you to grow your business and scale it, especially in time for what's coming up around the corner, Q4. So just a few more seconds. Loads of you joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us. All right, I am here with Tadie.
Can you hear me, Tadie? Yeah, can you? Very well, very well. It's been a long time since we've been online like this, hasn't it?
Yeah. So that's fun. Really excited to have you all. Let's start. As I said, we are here to talk about sourcing smarter to scale faster. So what we're going to do tonight is show you how you can get the most out of Q4 this year. So yes, it's already time to talk about Q4. Feels like the summer is almost over, and we want to show you the new and improved FBA Deal Source. We call it the new generation because there are so many new great features that we've added recently that you're going to see that it's an amazing tool to use to really help you speed up your growth and be really getting the most out of Q4. So that's our commitment to you, and we want you to commit to us as well. So that's a very simple thing. Turn off all digital distractions, all the WhatsApp and the Slack and the Facebook. Turn this off for the next 90 minutes, and then we will give you as much value as we usually do. As you know, we love to give you a lot of value. We're going to stay after as well to answer any questions, but we'll try to answer questions throughout. So before we start, I would say grab a piece of paper or pad or a tablet if you are of that generation, and just write something really simple. What is your target for Q4? So this year, when you look at Q4, when you finish the year, how much money would you like to have made? So it could be profit, it could be sales, but what is your target? You don't need to share that with us. It's a very personal number for you, but we want you to write that down so that becomes your target. Because we want to show you some really great tips to get the best Q4 ever this year. So not next year, not in 2 years' time. We want to show you how you can get the most out of Q4 this year. Anybody knows how many days left before Q4? That's a question for you all. Type it in the chat, no Googling allowed. How many days do you think we have left before Q4? Anyone?
Steve, how do you know this stuff?
I'm very sad. I'm a bit of a rain man. So only 50 days, 50, only 50 days until Q4. So it's really coming fast. And what that means is that Christmas is also very coming fast. I know it's only August and I'm talking about Christmas, but there's only 135 days until Christmas. So people are going to start shopping soon. You want to make sure that you've got products in the Amazon warehouse to make the most out of that Q4. If you're not familiar with the expression Q4, these are the last 3 months of the year, so the last quarter of 2021. So October, November, and December. Because in Q4, if you think of it, there are really big days like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then you've got Halloween, and then of course you've got Christmas. So these are big dates in the calendar for an Amazon seller. So Tadie, do you want to kick us off with some great tips?
Yeah, we always get this question asked. So, what do we do in the lead up to Q4? How soon should we prepare? And then, lots of different questions about Q4, what categories, etc. So what we thought we'd do is give you some top tips, because we are mid-August now. This year has gone so quickly, and we are very, very soon to be coming into Q4. So really the time is now. So if you haven't done already, get a pen and paper out and make sure that you write this information down. So in terms of top selling categories, you want to focus on the top sellers, the top selling categories on Amazon and potentially other platforms that you're selling on as well throughout Q4. Now, there aren't any major categories I'd actually suggest avoiding during Q4. It's more types of products that potentially are out of season. So if you're selling summer goods, outdoor goods, barbecue sets, things like that now, you want to kind of get them shifted so that you can then focus your efforts and obviously your capital on the top 4. Now, my top 4 for Q4, it's been exactly the same for 5 years now. It's toys and games, beauty, health and personal care, and grocery. And we are more heavily throughout the year in beauty, health and personal care, and grocery, with a bit of home and kitchen mixed in, which is also a great category to be in. But toys and games equally is just as good. Now, do bear in mind, there are compliance requests out there coming out again from Amazon. So you'll need to, if you are selling in toys and games, get them in quick, get them sold, get your profit back out, reinvest, and then go again before those compliance deadlines come into play, or do the hard work now and obtain that documentation so that you can continue selling in that category throughout the whole of Q4 into the next year, 2022. And that way you have got more of an opportunity than those that actually don't bother. Let me give you some stats in terms of toys and games, roughly around about 8 to 10 times on average in terms of sales throughout Q4 in comparison to other months of the year. Beauty normally does 5 to 6 times more in terms of sales. So we're talking, you know, if you've sold one product in beauty outside of Q4, you're looking at 6 times that during Q4. Health and personal care is around about 2 to 3 times, and then grocery is usually 2 to 3 times as well. That's aside from things like confectionery and things like that. That absolutely sells like hotcakes as well. We have some really good lines selling, and obviously we're coming out of the meltable season. So if anyone doesn't know that, what the meltable policy is usually between the months of May through to October, because it's usually hot. Amazon don't like you sending in chocolates, and also certain kind of beauty products as well that are potentially meltable, like soaps and candles and things like that. But absolutely game for grocery, especially confectionery and chocolate based products during that period. Now, when purchasing during the other quarters of the year, the norm, as you know, with arbitrage is to go wide, not deep. Xmas is slightly different. So Christmas, in the lead up to, the sales velocity is a lot more. Prices spike up quite a lot and actually hold really well. And I'll give you a bit of a gist in terms of kind of October, November and December, what to look out for. But just bear that in mind. Now, you also will notice that there is restock limits. Put your hands up if you've had you've been susceptible to not being able to send certain shipments in. Good old restock limits that Amazon brought in earlier this year. So they basically changed the ASIN limit level to basically all products. So it wasn't specific to ASINs, but that has caught a few people off guard, and mainly because people weren't, let's say, I know the majority that I spoke to just didn't really have a firm grip on their inventory management. So whilst they say go wide, not deep, do remember that Christmas, if you're buying some really hot sellers, potentially buying batches of 2 to 6 units, you're not going to last very long at all in terms of your stock. And what you'll find is, as you get closer to Q4, if you're buying now and you're holding, the chances of you being able to get those products again at the same price, unless you're looking for distributors and wholesalers, is going to be really slim. So think pivot. What can you do if you can't send them all in now because of the restock limits? Could you buy now and feed in over the course of the next few months and then do it weekly via your prep center, or can you buy and hold at home? So have a think about that. Now, in terms of retailers, so we also get asked the other question, Steve, don't we, about keeping your eye on major retailers and sales throughout October and November. Now, with this, they are great, but you want to be the first in and the first out when it comes to the big national online retailer sales. So just ensure that you set aside enough time, obviously, during these months. And as soon as the sales go live, get in there. If it's early in the morning, if it's late at night, get in there, put the effort in, get the products in as quickly as possible to your home or your practice center and get them into Amazon and get them sold. Now, you may find that you might have to go for lower margins in order to do that, just for these national sales. But if you're able to turn them quickly, and especially if you've got, let's say, a team of VAs that's helping you run the business, then a profit's a profit at the end of the day. If you can get it in, get it out, and get your money back out and reinvest that into Q4 stock, then that's absolutely great. So have a look out for those. Usually back to school, September onwards, end of summer is when they start. Where you're able to capitalize on as much cashback and discount codes as possible during Q4. If you're not doing that now, absolutely start doing it and get into the habit of doing that for business purchases and also personal purchases as well, because the compounding effect of discounts, vouchers, codes, loyalty rewards, and cashback really does soon add up. And Steve, I think you'll remember we had an academy call recently, didn't we? And Jonathan fed back that, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind us sharing this, that his cashback that he makes from his arbitrage business pays for all of his house bills every month. So, we're talking hundreds, if not thousands, depending on what level that you are in, or where you are, should I say, in your arbitrage business as well. So give you an example. You're going to buy some products, let's say from Argos. Do you have complete savings? If you do, really good cashback site, you can get 10% from them. If you can also benefit from a discount code that you found via Google, via voucher codes, or even on the Argos website. And then if you actually pay for those goods, as well as getting the discount and the cashback with, let's say, a credit card like Capital on Tap, that also gives you a percentage or Avios points, you're then tripling, the amount of cashback and rewards that you're actually getting. So that compounding pot, so to speak, really does start to rack up over time. Manage your expectations. So manage your expectations in terms of sales. Now, they will be steady across October, and they will usually ramp up from around about kind of mid-October. Everyone gets really excited thinking it's Q4, it's the 1st of October. And the sales are kind of just gradually increasing, but they do increase usually quite heavily from mid-October. So let me give you a rundown on the trend. So we usually do an analysis every single year for the previous Q4, usually at the start of Q3 or end of Q2 in my business, just to kind of see what we were selling, what we were doing back then, realign the targets to make sure that we are on target for the year currently, but then also what are we looking for, and firming those up so the team know what they're doing. So October is a great month, as I said, for buying from lots of retailers, trying to improve and increase the amount of inventory that you've got, whether you're holding it or you're sending it in, depending on those restock limits. So keep a lookout for those 3 for 2s, the 50% off, the penny deals that you can see and find from online retailers. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you sign up to all of their newsletters. Make sure that you're checking your out of stock goods, that you're being alerted when they come back into stock. Make sure that you're looking back at your archived lists. So those that you weren't necessarily, or you didn't purchase this time last year in the lead up to Q4 for whatever reason. And also make sure that you look back at your purchasing list to see what you actually did buy and what you did sell as well, because 9 times out of 10, that's a great source of deals that you can rinse and repeat again the following year. Now, expect competition, like I said, on some of the retailer sale lines, and price wisely. Don't go in really high and hold the stock. At the end of the day, get it in, get it out, and get your profit back out so you can keep churning those products over. November sees obviously 2 big sales days. Does anyone know what the 2 big national, or I say global, aren't they, sales days that take place in November are? Let me know in the chat if you know what they are. If you don't, you're going to know in a second, and you'll be able to put these in your diary. So we've got Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Everyone goes mental online on Amazon with regards to buying on those days. And there's obviously lots of sales and great products to be had as well. So don't underestimate these sales within Amazon, your business, and make sure that you are stocked up. Make sure you use Keeper carefully to determine your inventory pricing and obviously the rank across those periods. And if you're not using a repricer, especially one that's automated where you don't need to manually amend those min and max and rules, make sure that you're using one of those too. If anyone needs some advice on how to set that up, feel free to kind of reach out to us after the training, and we'll be happy to help you with that. Now,
in case, Tadie, sorry for interrupting, in case people are wondering, Black Friday is the 26th of November this year, and I just checked and it falls on a Friday.
Awesome. You're trying to be clever. December. So this is obviously where the sales really do come in, and what you'll find is literally overnight they just go manic, they go crazy. Who here on the training leaves things to the last minute? I know someone on the training tonight that sometimes leaves things to the last minute, present buying and whatnot. But who here is, oh my goodness, we've got literally 7 days left and I still need to get Aunt Joan and so on and so forth at present. And people always do that. People are using Amazon, people are using eBay, usually Amazon because of the guaranteed delivery. So it really will be crazy. Even though the shops seem to be back open as normal, remember, they are going to be hit hard in terms of what potentially could happen later on this year. We still don't know. We're in tricky territory, and the online sales is just absolutely exploded this year. And I think it's definitely going to continue for Q4 and probably be the best one that we've had. So be sure to replenish your product lines that are selling out fast. Plan your shipments regularly to keep up with your sales because of those restock limits. And I know a few people have actually asked about this and said about this in the chat, that you will have to, with restock, you're going to have to keep a tighter rein on and a closer eye on what utilization you are using, what your maximum capacity is, and if that changes as well when they do their quarterly assessments on it. And the restock limits are based on your sales. So basically, the more sales you get over a period of time, the greater your capacity limit is going to be. So just keep on that, being consistent and taking action. The fulfillment centers will be extremely busy with shipments being checked in. There's delays as we speak at the moment, but as with Amazon, what they always do during the peak periods is they take on thousands of part-time seasonal staff to cope with that. And for the last 2 years, actually, especially last year, it was brilliant that the service and the speed at which they were actually checking goods in. If anything, it was the prep centers that people were using that were struggling, but it was Amazon that was checking them in. So we can't guarantee that, but knowing Amazon, especially for the last 2 years, it's been nice and plain sailing. But just bear in mind that cutoff date that you will have in terms of getting your last shipment in, and try and plan to get all of your products in, obviously by before Christmas Day, so that you've got stock that can still sell throughout that Christmas period into the new year. Now, not a lot of sellers realize this, Steve, do they? But what's the most busiest day for sales in Christmas? Does anyone know? Put it in the chat. Steve, do you know what the busiest day for sales is, would you believe?
Let me think.
Christmas Day.
Yes.
Christmas Day. So whilst people are opening presents, there's people in the world buying gifts, buying things on Amazon, and yeah, they're literally doing it from start to finish. So and that's stats that we've looked up and we've researched from Amazon themselves. So bear in mind, as December progresses, progresses, how close should you be to pricing to reduce your stock and holding for the next year? Because that's another question that we get. So just be mindful, you don't want to enter into Q1, January, obviously February and March of 2022 with lots of seasonal stock. But do remember that sales continue to be good throughout Christmas, in the lead up to New Year, and obviously into January as well. So try and get rid of your seasonal stock. So what I'm talking about here is, your confectionery items that we spoke about earlier, advent calendars, for example, kind of Christmas gift sets that are specifically for Christmas. You don't want to have lots of those in your inventory. And that's what I was talking about earlier about, don't be greedy and want to get the best and the most expensive price, because the chances are you might miss out if you don't get the stock in quick enough and you've got lots of other people on the listing or jumping on the listing. And then what you might find happens is there's the penny war, let's say, of dropping that price early January in the lead into to February as well. So just to give you some stats as well, because I run some numbers. So at the start of November and for the duration of December, I retained approximately 70% of my inventory at a higher price. And then the other 30% was at a smaller margin. So that was for fast moving items that I wanted to kind of get out and then order more and get them back in again. But my team was checking regularly throughout that period, like the competition. So it was around about 70%. And that was across the top categories as well that we've given you. So basically everything I'm telling you now, I'll be doing this Q4. I've done it the previous Q4, and obviously we're adding and looking for new replenishable items and also new winning lines of products as well, that we can jump into. But let's have a look on the next slide, because if we look back at the previous Q4 sales, and here's some questions for you. What did you sell last year, and what did you sell well of? Because you will have no doubt bought products that sold really, really well, and then those that were just real slow burners. Stock up on the products that sold well before. Make sure that you don't run out, because your sales history and the sales report that you can pull off for any custom date range that you want, specifically do that through your Amazon Seller Central account, so you can actually have a look and see what products did you sell. It's not just what you bought, because sometimes we seem to forget, looking at what we've bought, and actually rather than actually seeing which ones sold really well and when they sold out of as well. So it gives you a greater understanding so that you can put a plan of action together, and obviously win and hopefully increase your sales even more this year if it's your second year or even third year. Now, also, think about what you didn't purchase last Q4. Now, I did mention this earlier on, and it's called archive deals. This is a term that I've come up with my team. And these are known as deals that you may have recorded, so you sourced yourself or your team may have sourced for you, but for some reason or another, you didn't go ahead and purchase them. So it could have been that they were out of stock at the time. It could have been that they didn't quite meet the margin that you wanted, or it could have been, for example, that actually you just didn't have enough capital to buy those deals at the time. So we don't get rid of anything or delete anything. We archive them, and then every quarter what we do is we utilize that as a sourcing opportunity. So if it's out of stock, we always want to check whether it's back in stock. If it was slightly off on margin, we want to check that, is it back in margin now, and can we go ahead and purchase it? So we're almost like we're not leaving any stone unturned, and it's exceptionally good for Q4. So deal sourcing from archived lists can obviously prove a fantastic method. And I've taught this quite a lot within our academy, and there's a number of our clients that are doing extremely well with it too, because what happens is when you archive them, you've already put them on your sourcing sheet, or your team's done that. Or you might have shortlisted them from a deal service. And then what will happen is, because you've added all that data in, you then simply copy and paste it into a worksheet or a tab that's known as your archive list. And that just grows and grows and grows over time. And like I said to you, if you didn't have enough capital at the time, because I know that we're all on a budget sometimes, it's something that you can look back at. So just make sure that you're kind of building that in to play, either with your team, if you've got a team of sourcers, or if it's yourself or your business partner that's working in there as well. Now, if you're not keeping a record, or you didn't keep a record of all those deals until now, I bet you're going to start doing it. And one other thing, just to kind of go back to Q4, is make sure that you have a chat with your prep center or your UPS lady or guy, whoever does the collections, if you're working from doing it from home, and make sure you find out when the last date. It's usually around about the 22nd, 23rd, depending on when that falls, and it's normally the 9 a.m. collection. So like before midday, you want to get it in as early as possible to get those in. But stop and celebrate, have a rest. So what is going to be your cutoff? Usually we say the 3rd week of December. But when you get to that stage, make sure you celebrate, and also obviously share your amazing Q4 results with us, because we'd love to hear what they are. What else have we got, Steve?
Got plenty more tips coming up. One of them is to look at restocking as soon as you reach a certain level in your inventory. So we say half of your inventory on the slide here, but what you want to do is look at your fast sellers, and before they sell out, replenish them so you never run out. We use a software called Seller Toolkit. You'll hear us talk about STK. So Seller Toolkit, that's really a great tool that gives you a great replenishment dashboard. So that will give you a really detailed report on everything that you've got in stock, and it tells you when you should be restocking. So that way you're not suddenly realizing that you're going to be out of stock on the products that are selling really well on Amazon. That also allows you to enforce the fact that the Amazon restocking limits won't be hindering you too much. Because if you want to buy large quantities, you know what your limits are, and maybe you can hold back some stock either at home or at your prep center, and slowly feed the goods in throughout Q4 so that you don't run out of stock despite the capacity that might be limited for you. So that way, you're not going to be out of stock. You're going to keep maintaining your sales. A few people are asking about Seller Toolkit now. I think Tadie's going to put the link in the chat for you. So this is a tool that we use. All our students in our academy are using it. And it's a really fantastic tool. It's not expensive either, to really allow you to get a good grip on your business from an inventory management point of view. They also have a repricer, and that really allows you to have a lot of functionalities incorporated inside your business. The second thing is the fact that the shipment to the Amazon distribution centers will potentially take longer in Q4. So as Tadie said, last year they were pretty good. With COVID, we don't know what the restrictions are going to be. Hopefully that's all going to be fine for this Q4, but that means that it could take longer than usual. So you should expect that it might take longer, and really allow yourself extra days to have your goods from the moment you purchase them to being sent. So sometimes the deliveries could take up to 14 days to check into the Amazon fulfillment center. So 14 days is a lot longer than usual, but I would say if you plan for that, then if it does happen, you might have to wait, but you won't be impacted by it. So if it does happen, Amazon will tell you they will wait until the full 14 days before you can even raise a query or challenge them in terms of where your stock is going to be. Sometimes in the very busy periods, they might keep the goods queuing outside in the trucks of the outside the distribution center when they are absolutely super busy. If you think how many goods are going through those doors in the busy period, this is only going to increase over the next few weeks. The peak for that is usually around mid to end November, but you should start to see the shipment times taking a bit longer from the end of October up until the first week of December. So the key here is to be consistent. So be consistent with your shipments, be consistent with your purchasing, so that if you get hit by any delays, at least you've got goods always going in, and it's not just one big batch every few weeks. So usually the cutoff point, as Tadie said, for UPS is going to be around the 22nd of December, the morning pickup. Check with your UPS delivery person. They're usually the ones who are going to be able to tell you that. And that means that you're not going to miss out on the Christmas period as well. Here's a question for you. Tadie's mentioned it before. Are you using a prep center right now? If you are not using one, we really urge you to use a prep center, outsource that, as soon as possible. Even if you are a new seller, outsource that really early on into your business growth, because more and more now this business is becoming sophisticated. Amazon have more inbound performance metrics. We talked about restock limit, that's based on your inventory performance index, your IPI. So you need to get the prepping and the shipping down to a T, and have that will allow you to scale even faster throughout Q4. So when you outsource on your prep to your prep center, you can really focus on what's really important in your business in terms of purchasing systems, even hiring team members like a VA, and to allow you to scale the business. But definitely don't keep, even if you enjoy it, don't keep doing the prepping yourself, because you are slowing your business growth right down. Would you agree with that, Tadie?
Yeah, definitely. I actually had a call today with one of our clients who we're helping, and we've gone through the process of literally around circle. So we've helped them get a sourcing VA. They also use FBA deal source. The sourcing VA actually shortlists all the deals for them via FBA deal source, and she also manually sources for them. And they've then taken on a business admin. So that's someone that does all of the shipment and the inventory reconciliation, deals with all the messages. So everything that you would do in kind of Seller Central, listing products, etc. We've got that down to a T, and they're working 4 hours in their business. And they've literally just taken on board a review and purchaser. So they have now got a team of 2 senior, 1 sourcer that are working and doing absolutely everything in the business. And they're now in a position where they are basically overseeing everything. And they said to me today, we've just got so much more brain power and energy and focus, because we're not meddling with missing items that have gone awry from the retailer to the prep center, or dealing with even disbursements. They've outsourced everything, and they're now able to focus their energy on how do we scale this business, how do we get more products, how do we raise more capital. So that's what they're doing right now. So anyone that is kind of wants some of that and is in that situation, reach out to us, and we can have a no obligation chat and just give you some ideas and some tips on how you can really be laser focused and systemize your business, because you need to systemize it before you can actually get someone else to do it for you. Now, our mission within FBA Deal Source, which you can see here, is to obviously support and provide the very best deals to arbitrage business owners, and that's 7 days a week. And it's to also improve your sales performance. So not just for you to maintain your sales, but we're talking about really, really improving that, scaling it. And that comes from consistent action from yourself. And we want FBA Deal Source to be your one-stop shop for your sourcing needs. Maximize your productivity. And by what I mean by that is really speed up the process of shortlisting deals efficiently through our integrations, both kind of deal analyzer, SDK, etc. So we'll give you some more information about that. But so you've got more quality control during that shortlisting process, and that can be maintained. So to ensure, for example, that in a split second, you're eligible to buy that product. You're not going to have any issues later on down the line once you've bought it and it's actually at Amazon and they're saying, no, we're not accepting it. We want that to be in just a few clicks, as quick and as easy as possible. And obviously to offer the best in terms of customer service, so that we can support you through additional services and training absolutely free of charge within the membership we offer. And we listen to our users, and that's why we have developed this software in the first place. But also, since we originally launched after a number of years, it's really been our mission to continue to serve our customers, our users at the highest level, and to be open and honest and welcome fantastic feedback and also constructive criticism about certain features, and for them to provide us with suggestions. Because at the end of the day, we're Amazon sellers ourselves. We use the service ourselves, We understand the policies and the rules and the changes that Amazon, throw at us and the hoops that we have to jump through. And we're really quick to pivot and adapt the software so that we can continue to ensure we maximize productivity for you and we make it really, really efficient. So those suggestions over the course of the last 18 months plus have turned into features, and some that we are absolutely proud of, and they've been greatly received since we've deployed them through beta and live within the deal stream and the software as a whole to the existing users. Now, to obviously support and provide the very best deals in Arbitrage, it wouldn't be a great service and we wouldn't continue to have a fantastic level of users if it wasn't for the quality of deals that go into that service. And I'm going to give you some examples of some deals, and Steve is as well. And also I'm going to share some stats, because I think it's really important to not only share stats of our users and how much they're making from the service, but also I'll share some stats from my business as well. And because of you and we know in order to get profitable winning deals every day of the week for your arbitrage business, you need to go through the sourcing process, either you or your team. And you need it to be predictable. You need to be consistent, and you need to do it at volume. There's nothing new there. And the common approach that we found in doing this, the people we spoke to, is using deal sheets. We've been there, we've done that. We've used absolutely every single service and deal sheet service, and in the US and the UK that's out there. And the thing is, with the old way, and we're talking about deal sheets, is that you'll find that there's too many sellers, or the products are slow moving, or you won't quite have all of the data. If you do have data, it's normally figure based, and you don't have the added effect of it being visual as well. So if you are, let's say, an engineer kind of type person and you love numbers, then that's great. But if you're a visual person and you want to see the deal and you want to see the graphs, we wanted to kind of do both. And to be able to then allow you to assess kind of how many deals per month you are buying from the specific software that you're using, or the channel that you're using. And that's a really good exercise as well that you should be doing to ensure that whatever you're paying for in terms of the service, or if it's a virtual assistant, are you actually making and getting your money's worth out of that service as well? So what is the true quality of the deals that are flowing from that sourcing channel, and how long does it actually last for? Now, we've trialed them, as I said, all, and we've found that there are a lot of them out there that's either providing deals that are out of stock, they're slow movers, they don't quite cater for gated and ungated categories, which obviously causes an issue for you if you're new to selling or you haven't yet got round to ungating on Amazon within specific subcategories. And they might often fall short on, like I said to you, the minor details that actually then turn into bigger details. So like expiry dates, for example, I want to know before I buy a product if it's definitely got an expiry date on it, because it might be actually in my guidelines for my business that I don't want to deal with any expiry date products, because if I don't sell them within 3 months of them expiring, and they were a dud deal, I'm going to have to then remove those and either devour them myself, give them out as presents like I normally do, or use them around the home, or I've got to dispose of them. So expiry dates, looking at whether or not they're meltable products, what I referred to earlier in terms of it being in the summertime and it not being allowed. Is it hazmat? Is it on the dangerous goods program? Can you sell on the dangerous goods program? Is it hazmat level 3 UN goods, which is a massive no-no because it costs you a lot of money? So these are the things we've taken into consideration so that we can obviously develop these features and put them into play within the FBA deal source software. So really quickly you can make that decision, and that's definitely something that unfortunately certain deal sheets and other providers out there don't do. So we took them all into consideration, and also the user suggestions. and the feedback to obviously develop our sourcing service into something great. Steve, I suppose we're biased, right? I mean, but we use the software, so it works. We make amazing sales from FBA Deal Source 2 with the leads it provides.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We created the service because we felt there was a need. As Amazon sellers, we were frustrated that we would buy a deal sheet and overnight a deal that looked good on paper would be flooded with so many sellers on it. And that's why we created the service, so that it works for sellers like us, but also for people who are using the service. So maybe I can show you the features if you're not familiar with it. If you are familiar with it, you'll notice a lot of great improvements. We call it FBA Deal Source the next generation. So if you are new to the service, when you log on, you will see this dashboard. So after you've signed up, you'll get this dashboard on your computer, and you'll be welcomed by this little guy there. That's a tool to really show you all the steps that are available in the software. So we've created loads of training videos. This is your video tutorial. By the end of it, you will have been taken around the entire site, and you should be good to go. If not, we have created training videos. You can see here at the top, so it's a carousel. There's loads of videos. You can see all those little dots there that we create. So every time there's a new feature, we create a short training video as well. So it's all based on questions that you might have. What do I do? How do I do this? Then we create a short video to show you how to use it. Apart from that, we've created an integration with Seller Central. So that means that when you look at FBA Deal Source, it is directly linked to your account as a seller. So when it tells you if a product is gated or not gated, that depends on your own situation as a seller. So it allows you to really see in real time what is available to you as a seller on Amazon based on your criteria. Also, every day we offer deals of the day for free to our members. So depending on which package you're on, you'll have either 3 or 5 deals free every single day that you can access on the software. That's in addition to all the credits that you get when you sign up for the program. We also have very detailed information. So for example, this is a product in the beauty category. This is the icon for beauty, the lips there, but we have all those icons there. One, you can add that to your favorites. You can download to a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet, for example, or a Google spreadsheet. You can report any issue. Then someone from our customer service will reply to you. You can also ask the software to show you more deals from the same retailer. So for example, if you're buying from Asda, there might be a £40 minimum purchasing limit to get free delivery. So you can ask the software, what other products do you have from this same retailer, like Asda in this example? So it will show you all the other deals available right now in the software. So that's a really cool feature. We also have new integrations. Tadie's going to talk about that in a minute, but this is the one for SellerAmp, a repricer. So you can interrogate the repricer as well as FBA Deal Source. You can also see if the product is currently in stock or out of stock with the retailer. You can see if it is a bundle. So bundle is a pack of 2, 3, 6, 12, but that will tell you as well right there in FBA Deal Source. Also, our sourcing team will add some comments sometimes saying they found a discount code for it, or that will allow you to really see everything that is available for this product. This padlock there is going to tell you if a product is gated or ungated. If it is gated, you can click on it and you can try to auto-ungate automatically, or go directly to Seller Central and apply to get ungated in that category. Another one is the expiry date. Tadie mentioned that. So for example, in the grocery section, you might have some products that have an expiry date. So this will be highlighted as well. And of course, if a product is hazmat or part of the dangerous goods program, this is some information that will provide it as well. So as you can see, just in a snapshot for just those icons already there, you can see about 10 or 11 different characteristics of the product. That's even before analyzing the sales performance of the product. So when it comes to the performance of the product, you have in the center the graph that we have developed, very similar to what you will have seen in a keeper graph, for example, that will show you if Amazon is on the listing, the performance over time, the sales rank, the price, where the buy box was over time. And also on the right-hand side, there's loads more features, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So as you can see, loads of information that is available in the graph. You can click on it and it pops up and becomes bigger. You can move the cursor at the bottom there to view the data by month, 3 months, year, or all, which is the duration of the life of the product on Amazon. On the right-hand side, you can see the different country flags, so you can look at data across different countries as well. So this is data for the month, that's 3 months of the year, and then you can also add the various countries if it is available. So this feature may go away because a lot of our customers are no longer selling in Europe, but for now it's available as well. So if you are selling in Europe, this is definitely something you can access. So when you look at any product on FBA Deal Source, you'll be presented with this kind of information. So you'll have the icon for the category. So this, for example, is PC and video games. And if you do your analysis and you say, yeah, I am interested in this product, I want to purchase it because I've looked at all the details, like how many sellers are available, what's the BSR over time, what are the fees, and also what's my competition. So how many sellers, how many FBA sellers, is Amazon on the listing or not? And you say, yeah, I want to buy this. You click buy now, and then you'll be requested to use one of your credits. And once you've purchased the credit, you're going to see that the information is then revealed. So you'll see the product details, the name, the picture, and where it was found in terms of the retailer. So this will then give you access to the retailer's site. So by clicking on the buy for price, you'll be able to go directly to the retailer's page where we found this deal. And if you click on the Amazon price, you'll go directly to the Amazon listing. So this takes you, and then you can see that this is exactly the same product. So that really allows you within seconds to find a deal and make a purchase. So that, as you can see there, is really a great step to build your business, because you don't have to spend hours on the websites to find products on a retailer website. This is all there at your fingertips. We've heard lots of feedbacks. A lot of people said, yeah, but I'm not ungated in toys and games, for example, or the listings are flooded with sellers. As you can see, you can definitely look at who is gated or ungated, because Amazon will tell you, because you're connected to your Seller Central account. Listing flooded with sellers, we don't want that either. So we limit every product to maximum of 15 sellers to see the information. So it goes as a countdown, and then when it gets to 0, the deal gets removed from the database and no one can see it again. So if you are just starting and you think, well, I can't find deals, or the deals are out of stock, you'll see all of this by using the icon as well. But what we always say is use the filters, because if you just go through all the deals, sometimes we have up to 4,000 deals on the FBA deal source. So you don't want to go from page 1 to page 600. So you want to use filters, and filters is the best way to make the most out of a service like FBA Deal Source. The last thing you want to do is just go from page 1 to page 10, because you might not find anything that suits your business. So narrow your search, use filters so that it fits your business. So I did a quick search just for fun, and I said, okay, FBA Deal Source, show me deals where Amazon is not on the listing. Show me deals with a minimum of £5 profit, and show me deals with a minimum of 50 units sales in the past 30 days. And this is what and this is just the top 2 on the page. There were loads of them, of course, as you can imagine, hundreds of them on FBA Deal Source. But right there, just by saying, show me deals where Amazon is not on the listing, if you look at the graphs in the middle, Amazon is not selling these products at the moment. And also, they've been selling more than 30 units in the last 30 days. So if you look, this one, I don't know if you can see my cursor there, but this one has sold 40 units in the last 30 days. It's got only 2 FBA sellers, and you're going to make a profit of 21%. 48%. So that's profit margin and an ROI of 42%. Or the one below, you'll make an ROI of 27% and a profit margin of 16. But this one, again, 2 FBA sellers, no Amazon on the listing, and they sold 42 units. So right there, you can see that it really narrows down your search so that you'll be able to find products that you want to buy every time you look at it. Otherwise, if you don't use filters, you might just go through loads of pages, get bored, or the phone rings, or you need to go because you have to work. But really, by using filters, you'll maximize the efficiency of a tool like FBA Deal Source. Tadie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the filter idea is great, and that's something that we built in quite earlier on with some feedback. And I don't think it's used as much as it should be. And we've had lots of one-on-one calls over the last 6 months or so, because that's part of the service provision. When you sign up, you get a free call, and that's something, Steve, that you love the filters. That's Steve helped develop that one, but it's great. And we've got, like I said to you, users that are using that now a lot more religiously, and it's really shaving a lot of time off, because we're all busy, we've got things to do, we want to, that's what we said, part of this is we want this to be as efficient as possible. But not only that, they've also got those that have got VAs that are shortlisting deals using FBA Deal Source are filter heaven. They've got all of them saved and launching them, and that's kind of based on whatever you want it to be, really, whether it be category specific, like Steve said, or profit and ROI. But we've also added in there not only the filters, but allowing you to view the deals as you wish. So last loaded, last checked, most recent, or in terms of, the highest or lowest profit and ROI as well. So I said to you earlier on, I was going to give you some real live examples of some stats, specifically from sales, from purchases, just through the deals that I've done in my business from FBA Deal Source. That's obviously allowed me to source smarter and scale faster. Now, I must be honest, I don't do any of the sourcing. I don't do any of the shortlisting. I got someone to do that, but they're still doing it for my business. And these stats I'm going to share with you were outside of Q4. But before I show you, I have a question for you. Are you really analyzing your deals correctly? Because there are a lot of people out there that are reviewing deals, either deals that they're sourcing themselves, deals that they might be subscribed to another service or deal sheets, and they're binning them off for one reason or another. And I don't think that there are a lot of people out there that are actually kind of really understanding how to analyze products. And perhaps you're thinking, well, I'm not going to buy that one because it's only giving me £2 profit, or even £1.85 profit net after all fees. There are a lot of people that we've spoken to that are wanting £5 plus in terms of profit. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that all the time. When you do find it, and Steve just showed an example, it's great, but you really need to understand how to analyze effectively, because to win, it's about volume. And the more products that you can sell, obviously at a higher profit, it's absolutely fantastic. But also, don't discard those that will tick away nicely at in the background, that you can get consistent supply of, that are going to give you maybe £1.85, £2, maybe a little bit more than that. But they're the bread and butter. They're the ones that will soon add up. And as you start to increase and expand your list of those products, that you're then able to actually get from consistent suppliers, those that can actually provide you with quantities when you need it. So outside of, let's say, the supermarkets and so on and so forth. This is really going to help you scale your business and obviously increase your revenue in the lead up to Q4, but we're also talking outside of the Q4 period. So with regards to this, it's all about numbers, isn't it? It's all about understanding and how to analyze them, and also looking at volume, making sure obviously you've got the capital there. Now, what this service guarantees is a minimum profit, and it's then up to you to decide what volume you are going to purchase. Now, the stats I'm going to share with you are based on the purchasing that my team did for me and sales across a 4-month period earlier this year. And it was also during the quietest months of the year. Now we all know that Q4 is the busiest period ever for sales, and Q1 is usually the quietest. So this was during Q1 into early Q2. Now my reviewer and shortlister, so that's my VA, one of my VAs, they shortlist the deals in line with the business criteria, so the margins, and he then went ahead and he purchased them for me, and then my admin team then managed all the shipments direct to the prep center and then obviously into Amazon, and also they deal with the pricing strategy, the repricer, and obviously the inventory management aspects of that as well. Now we were extremely pleased to see the results that FBA Deal Source provided us and helped us to achieve, and we drilled down those numbers. So I'm going to share those with you right now. Now we calculated that during that time we purchased the total number of units of 2,211. And Steve, if you just release the next one for me, the estimated sales. So this is the estimated sales. So we always estimate based on the figures once we've purchased. So the gross sales from those 2,211 was estimated to bring in just shy of £27,000 in income. So revenue gross. We actually made, and I've put an asterisk by this, we actually made £24,523 gross from the sales. But the reason why it's asterisk is because I didn't sell all of those 2,211 products. So within that 4-month period, I wanted to be really honest with you, there was a few surplus that was still and are still selling at the moment. Now, if we drill down now and release the next figure, we'll start to see kind of how many sold. So out of those 2,211 units, so this was across multiple product lines, we sold just shy of 2,000. So 1,907 was sold in that 4-month period, which generated that 24,523 that you can see. Now, what we did is we also drilled down further to work out of those units that sold and also the gross and net sales, and what we obviously spent on the products, what was the average net profit after fees for each of those units? And it was £2.79. And this just kind of, I just want to seed back to what I said earlier, like, you know, this is a massive amount of money. There's some people that are doing more than that. This is just from FBA Deal Source, by the way, but there's some people that are struggling to achieve 20,000. And this is how you do it. You got to stop looking for these 5, 10, 20, even £30 profit products, because if you're just looking for those, you are not going to make enough money to continue doing this strategy. You've got to look at those that are fast sellers that might slightly be below your margin currently, and maybe realign your margins throughout the year at different times, because we've, as I've said, we've got off peak and we've got on peak. But let's have a look at the profit. So I want to know, and I know that you guys want to know too, how much profit did I make from those sales? So this was the 24,000. So it was an ROI of just over 61%. And the net profit after fees and prep fees was £5,571.49. So not bad, considering that our ROI is a minimum of around about 28%. Sometimes we go a little bit lower than that outside of the peak season, the peak sales periods. But have a look at those, take a screenshot. This will give you an idea. And as I said, these were FBA Deal Source deals. I have my own team of sourcers as well that specialize in different kind of categories, and they do use different kind of advanced methods of sourcing. But this was just FBA Deal Source and the stats. And as I said, I didn't do anything. I literally, you know, held meetings and made sure they were doing what they needed to do, but my team was doing it for me. And if you guys have got a team working for you, then perhaps our service can also help you achieve kind of this level, or add to your sales to massively scale that. Now, as I said before, arbitrage is a numbers game, and these numbers are real life examples to show you. Now, I actually shared, following a call earlier last week, I actually shared another case study with a user of FBA Deal Source, and Dan shared with me that he found a product, just one product from FBA Deal Source, and it was an estimated 737 units in terms of sales a month. He purchased a test batch, and it only gave him £1.95. And I was like, why are you turning your nose up? If that's a net profit after fees of £1.95, I'd be taking that every day, especially if it was doing 737 in terms of average sales. Now, it did have a bit of competition on it, but what he shared with me, and what you'll see, and you can feel free to go to our OSC group to have a look at the post in more detail, is that as soon as he realized that his test batch ran out, so he sold out quickly, he managed to get some more. And within 30 days, that one product that was giving him £1.95 in terms of profit, he was able to generate 633 and something pence, 70 pence or something like that, in terms of profit. So after fees, that was that one product. Now, just imagine if you find, let's say, 2 or 3 of those every single day when you're doing a shortlisting session using FBA Deal Source, and suddenly then starting to realize how that soon adds up, because he made 633 quid in 30 days from one product, and he is always on the service. He's always logged in and shortlisting, and he's doing it himself. So just to really give you an idea of my figures, and also someone else that's using it as well. Now, I can see from the comments already, asking how do I outsource all of this and the use of FBA Deal Source to a VA, and we get lots of content available that we'd be happy to kind of talk you through that process personally. So reach out to us if you'd like to book a call. We'll put that in the chat, so take a note of the link. But with regards to these results I'm sharing with you, just give me a show of hands. I mean, how successful is your sourcing channels currently that you're using? Are they successful for you? Are they generating the kind of income that we're showing you right now from the deals or leads that you are shortlisting from them? You can see only a few hands going up. Now, how we've structured the software is obviously to improve efficiency, the speed at which you shortlist and you purchase, so that you can really drill it down and get it done in a real short amount of time. And that's really, really important, because the less time you spend shortlisting, the more time you've got purchasing, and then you can obviously manage your inventory and your repricing and so on and so forth. And we also have up and coming features that are being worked on right now that I've got my hands tied. I'm going to be gagged. I'm not allowed to say anything. I normally do. I normally leak the really good information, but I'm not allowed to do that today. But we have got some amazing features that are being worked on by Adam and the team to really help you expand your reach, outsource admin tasks, and also potentially conquer new marketplaces online as well. Now, results are not typical, guys. Not everyone can achieve these results. I completely understand that. We all have different circumstances, work, family commitments, etc. Not everyone selling on Amazon achieves these same results. It depends on a number of factors, but it depends on obviously the capital that you've got available, the ways and means of you obviously raising that, the amount of effort that you put in. But once you have set yourself up with the service, you've saved those filters, and Steve's ready and raring to be able to provide some information and some help and guidance on doing that. And also you're firm on your margins with as little as 20 to 30 minutes every single working day of the week. We do 7 days, but you could do 5. If you're logging in, you can shortlist and purchase and reap the rewards and obviously the profit that far exceed the subscription cost of this service. I've just shared with you over £5,000 across 4 months. Dan did over 600 quid. That's near enough a year's subscription already in 30 days. So better still, once you have a team of VAs, also, you can then systemize the process and get them to do it for you. Steve, would you agree?
Yeah, the key is consistency, isn't it? You want to do a little bit every single day, and that's going to compound and give you that kind of results. Because if you just log on once a week and hope that you're going to make a massive difference to your business, it's only going to dent it. So you want to have a little time every single day, shortlist some products, buy them, ship them, and that will allow your business to grow a lot faster.
Absolutely. So here's what you get when you sign up to FBA Deal Source. And we weren't able to get every single feature and benefit on this slide, but we wanted to pick the best ones. So you're going to get full access to the deal stream. So the deal stream is our main page that Steve referred to, which has got, thousands of products on there ready and raring for you to shortlist and use your filters. So you only purchase the deals that you want to buy. You see all of the data before you utilize your credit. And there's a continuous deal drop within the deal stream. It's automated 24/7. Adam and the development team have done a fantastic job that once a deal is dropped in, it is scraped and it's checked against Amazon and the source, the retailer, so that we're always up to date, knowing that if there's a price change, if it goes out of stock, you'll see that information. You've got the advanced data analysis information and the product statistics that Steve showed earlier, the integrated analyst graph. So if you didn't want to pay for Keeper and you just wanted FBA Deal Source to be your one-stop shop, you can save a subscription on Keeper using our service. You've got the deal exportation as well, allowing you to export those deals at a click of a button that you've purchased. And one of my favorites, I think, is the Seller Central integration, which means once you've downloaded the Chrome extension, which is free as part of the service, and you then connect your Seller Central account, either you or your VA does this, then that every single deal you're looking at based on the icons that it's showing you per deal, whether or not you're eligible to sell, whether or not it's on the dangerous program or not, if you want to sell that way. And you get all of the other great features and benefits and alerts with that too. On top of that, obviously, whether or not you're gated or ungated, there's nothing worse than buying deals, which happened to me right at the beginning, and it's happened to many others, where you buy these deals, you don't do your checks, and then you realize, hang on a minute, I can't list it, I'm gated. So we've built that in, as well as the hazmat products identifier. One of the most recent ones that we're really, really happy to have released was the blocked brands and retailers. If there is a specific brand or a specific retailer that you don't want to see on your deal stream, so let's say very.co.uk, or if it's very.com, they don't like delivering they've got great deals, but they hate delivering and won't deliver to prep center addresses. They'll only deliver to domestic addresses. So if you're using a prep center and you don't want to see any deals from Very, you can then add that as an example to the blocked brands and retailer under your account. And that means that going forward, no deals from that particular brand or retailer will be shown in the deal stream. So it just saves time. Bundle and multi-pack identifier, we need to know whether or not it's 2, 3, if it's the same product, if it's different products. Discount code alerts as well to help you save money, and obviously making sure that you look to see whether or not you can get added cash back. Most recent one is expiry and meltable products. So making sure if you don't want to sell them, or you do, you can filter that way as well. And one of the most popular one now that we've rolled out is the deals from the same retailer. There's nothing worse than securing a deal and then finding that actually you can't buy it because the delivery charge completely kills the profit. What you can do now with one click of a button is, once you've found a deal that you like, you realize the retailer it's from, you can click the same retailer icon on that deal, and the deal stream will load in seconds, showing you all of the deals that we've got available that haven't yet been bought out by other users, that aren't saturated, that you can also review and shortlist. And that's just a huge time saver, and it means that you don't then lose out on profitable deals just because you can't buy them because there is a delivery issue, and it kills the product. Verified supplier guarantee, we've worked really hard with the team to make sure that every single supplier retailer that is added, and we're adding new ones every single week, is absolutely reputable. They're verified, and we go through a stringent process with that as well. Live API connection for automatic updates, as I said earlier, an absolutely intuitive and fantastically designed deal stream dashboard, and obviously the advanced filter system. And on top of that, for the Source Pro Plus, you also get unlimited deal defense, deactivation defense cover as well, which includes templates, training, and one-to-one support from yours truly, myself, if you ever get into a situation where your account is verified. And that can happen at any stage, not just when you first start. I went through verification again quite recently, and also any suspension issues as well. Steve, have we forgotten anything? I think that was all of them.
That's pretty much everything, yeah. As you can see, there's loads and loads of features, but really, if you think all of this makes your life easier as a seller. One thing that you've not mentioned yet, Tadie, is new partnerships.
Yes, definitely. So we have partnered with two of the big boys in the arbitrage industry, Seller Toolkit, who you heard us speak about earlier on, and also Seller Amp, so Norm and Al. So Seller Amp being or Seller Amp SAS, as it's also known, being the deal analyzer, and two of the best, I would say, definitely by far, deal analyzing software and inventory management and repricing providers in the industry. Now, these new partnerships will see some fantastic integrations and also features that are being developed as literally as we speak. I'm seeing messages whilst we're doing this training between the developers and these guys. So we are really, really excited about the opportunity that users are going to have, especially if they're using Seller Toolkit, which I think a lot of people are, and also Seller Amp as well. And we use these in our businesses. We wouldn't be partnering with just anyone. They are fantastic, really quick to innovate their software, just like we are. I think almost kind of pioneering into the future with regards to this industry and strategy. So in just a few clicks, you can seamlessly integrate and allow FBA Deal Source, your account, to work with these software providers. Let me give you an example of the seamless integrations that are coming, and that there's some that are working right now. When you use Seller Amp, so when you're deal analyzing outside of FBA Deal Source, let's say you come across a product that you found yourself and you find that it's out of stock, the Seller Amp deal analyzer is telling you it's out of stock. You can then click a button, so you can click the FBA Deal Source icon, and what that's going to allow you to do is, once you're logged into FBA Deal Source, it will scan and see whether or not that product is available in our deal stream from a different retailer. And it will, if it is, it will appear, but it will also then allow you, if you find it from a different retailer, just what I referred to earlier on, you can click the same deals from same retailer icon, and that's then going to show you everything else we've got in the deal stream, so that you can fill your boots, fill your basket, and you can buy more products from that retailer. In addition, when you're running, let's say, your replenishment checks in STK, you can use the integration between STK and FBA Deal Source to let's say, find alternative suppliers if the current supplier, your replenishable products that you originally bought it from, warrants, let's say, a hefty delivery fee, or maybe let's say that the price has gone up, or it might be out of stock. And what will happen is FBA Deal Source will talk with Seller Amp, and it will see if it can find you that product from a different source. Alternatively, you can also, as I said, search for the deals from the same retailer. So these are just a few that I'm allowed to tell you about, but we've got a lot more that's coming your way with regards to the integrations and the features with these two that we've got listed. And they're being developed as we speak. So we're really, really excited about that. But let me tell you what the packages include. So we've got a few questions that people are asking. So what do we get? How can I pay? What options do you offer? Now, we currently have two packages available. We've got the Source Pro, which is everything that we spoke about before. You get 35 source credits a month. So that allows you, basically, one source credit is one deal. We don't muck about with saying it's 2 credits here and 3 credits there. 1 for 1 is the exchange. We want to make it nice and easy. You get all of the features we referred to earlier. So gating alerts, bundle identifier, seller central integration, exporting, discount alerts. You also get a 30-day source credit extension, which means if you don't use all your 35 source credits during that calendar month, you then get 30 days extension of anything surplus moving over, and that's continuous as well. And you also get 1 month free for the Source Pro Plus on the annual. But let's look at the Source Pro Plus, which is the higher category and the package that we offer. The main difference is the source credits. So you're actually getting 50 source credits a month rather than 35 on the Pro Plus. And you're also getting a 45-day extension on the source credits as well. So 45 days on top if you don't use all of them, they're transferable. You get free deactivation defense, that's with myself, free technical coaching call as well to really help you kind of dig deep and build a strategy for using the software so you can be as efficient and productive as possible. And you also get 2 months free on the annual at the moment. So this is what's available currently, the 2 different packages, either monthly or annual for both of these. And in terms of what we offer at the moment, our RRP, Steve, is 98 for the Source Pro Plus and 78 for the Source Pro, or 980 per year for the higher tier, or 858 for the lower tier. But hold fire, because I've persuaded the partners of FBADS, as I say for short, FBA Deal Source, to provide a one-time offer today, because we've got all of these partnerships